The difference between genders and the dominant traits of what constitutes a boy and girl is entrenched in Western culture. In the social context, people who cross these gender divides are often considered the other and marginalised. A news website called thestar.com recently published that a couple have decided to raise their child as a genderless baby. When Storm was born, the couple sent an email to friends and family. "We've decided not to share Storm's sex for now. A tribute to the freedom and choice in place of limitation. A stand-up to what the world could become in Storm's lifetime." The article suggests that in postmodernity, there is a shift towards the acceptance of individuals who cross the gender divide. Storm, now 1 year old, has not been labelled as a boy or a girl. The parents believe this gives Storm the freedom to choose what to be, unhindered by social norms about males and females. "If you really want to get to know someone, you don't ask what's between their legs," the father says. Psychologist Diane Ehrensaft, author of Gender Born, Gender Made, believes parents should support gender-creative children, including transgendered, gender hybrids, who feel they are part girl and part boy, and gender smoothies, who have a blended sense of gender that is purely them. Ehrensaft believes there is something innate about gender, and points to the 70s, when parents experimented by giving dolls to boys and trucks to girls. Some girls never played with the trucks, and some boys weren't interested in the dolls. Ehrensaft worries by not labelling Storm's sex, the parents are denying Storm a way of finding a location of true gender self, in a world where you are either male, female, or in between. In effect, they have created another category, other than other, and that could marginalise the child. Storm's story is an interesting social issue that needs to be addressed. Schools need curriculum that gives students an understanding of the immense variety of gender locations. Teachers need to help students accept gender diversity for them to better develop collective identity and a sense of self. Gender diversity is something that needs to be taught as acceptable. As discussed by Amanda Ketty in Chapter 6 of Culture and Identity, current commonplace teacher practices not only homogenise gender and ignore the immense diversity within gender categories, they perpetuate the hegemonic binary or dualistic gender relations. They tend to encourage traditional and stereotypical ways gender is perceived. Educators need to mediate the gender differences and dominances that occur and encourage positive perspectives among students to reduce discrimination and marginalisation of gender-creative students. Okay, class, I'd like to talk to you about something really important. If you have a look at this teddy bear, I'd like you to tell me whether you think it's a boy or a girl. Some of you may think it's a boy. Others might think it's a girl, but it can be both. It's okay for it to be a boy or a girl. Let's have a look at the handout you all have on your desk now. You'll see that there is 3 columns, boy, girl, and both. At the bottom of the sheet, you'll see that there are 15 words for you to sort into the columns. Alright, now that you've all filled in your sheets, let's have a look at what Dan put on his sheet. Dan has put that a doctor is a boy thing, but girls can be doctors too. Just because you've only seen a boy or a male doing that job doesn't mean that only males can do it. Now let's have a look at what Laura put on her sheet. Just because your dog is a boy, it doesn't mean that all dogs are boys. You see, dogs can be boys and girls. You can see that Laura and Dan have both put different things in each column. You may see that some of the other children have put some of the same things in the columns that you did, but others didn't. Now let's have a look at my sheet. You can see that I've put all the things in the both column, because everybody can do, wear, and be all of these things. Just like Laura and Sarah have different coloured eyes, they are different kinds of girls too. Not all boys think the same, and not all girls think the same. Boys can do girl things, and girls can do boy things too. You see, if Laura wants to play soccer, she can. If Dan wants to pick flowers with Lisa, he can. Have a look at these pictures. Some of the boys are different to the other boys. Some of the girls are different to the other girls. Some girls can be more like boys. And some boys, just like this, can be more like girls. Everybody's different, and everybody is the same in different ways. Let me explain. We are all people. We are all the same. We are all different. We are all individuals. Now let's have a look at this picture. This is a picture of Storm. Do you think it's a boy or a girl? It's okay if you said either, because it's okay for Storm to be a boy or a girl. When it comes down to it, you make your own mind up whether you want to be more like a boy or more like a girl. Everybody here can be what they want to be. To conclude, I'd like to point out the learning outcomes I would expect to achieve from my mock lesson. To give students an introduction and broader understanding of the variety of gender locations. To help students accept gender diversity. To encourage them to develop a collective identity that doesn't marginalise the other. To create a richer and unbiased sense of self. To help students look at more than just traditional and stereotypical ways gender is perceived. To encourage positive perspectives towards difference, to reduce discrimination and marginalisation of gender creative students. Thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed my presentation. Class dismissed.